Hello and welcome back to another video, folks. I am your host, Will at Heroic Studios, and earlier this week I did a pretty cool experiment where I was able to get a glass-like finish on one of my resin prints. So I went ahead and posted it all throughout my social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, wherever I'm at. You guys should be following me there. Everyone asked me how I did that. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys a really quick tutorial on how I did that, and hopefully you guys can do the exact same thing. But first, quick announcement. My Patreon for September is launching. I got a whole new set of STLs for you guys, and this time I'm actually putting together the Blue Ranger, and this set is awesome. So awesome that the OG Blue Ranger, David Yost, has signed off on it, and he thinks it's fantastic, and I'm so stoked that he saw it. If he's watching, which he's probably not, thank you, David Yost, the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. You guys are the best. So you guys can go ahead to my Patreon today. Go ahead and jump on board. You guys get this full STL equipped with interchangeable arms, heads, and you also get the welcome pack, which is actually the rewards from last month, which is basically Jason and or Rocky with interchangeable parts. You get the power sword, you get the blaster, you get open fist, closed fist, you get all this cool stuff, and you get to mount both of these figures on a power coin base that you can display anywhere you guys want. You can set it up however you want, you can scale it up however you want. Of course, there are pre-supported files for you guys. So go ahead, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Will at Heroic Studios. Join us, and we are actually voting on which Ranger is going to be next for October, and I'm kind of leaning towards Tommy. That's just me personally, but when you guys join up, you guys will have a say in that vote. So I'm not going to keep you guys, back to the video. Okay guys, so this is a very simple process. Make sure you got your gloves on. For this, I am going to be using the new Gen 9 Pokemon to Titan that I got from my Pokeprints. Go check out his Patreon. You're going to need a UV lamp that you can get from Amazon pretty cheap. You're going to need a aluminum foil bucket or a metallic bucket, whatever you have available, a paintbrush or a sponge, as well as obviously some clear resin. Make sure you are protected with this stuff. Last but not least, make sure you have a container that you can pour the resin in. Mine's a little bit dirty, but it didn't really change a lot of anything. So just make sure you use a plate or whatever. Pour the thing in there, and then you're going to just quickly take your paintbrush and take whatever you're trying to make super glossy and just dab it all over the print. It's really that simple. Like, you don't really have to do much, but go ahead and dab it over your print. Make sure you get all the edges. Make sure you cover every single surface with this clear resin, because it's literally going to be the thing that's going to make this super glossy. You can already see it right now. I'm not even curing it or anything. When you wet these things, the glossiness kind of comes out. So when you use resin for it, it actually brings it out and it keeps it out. So make sure you do go ahead and gloss every surface of your print with this resin. It's very simple, and it's very important that you do that. There we go. Everything looks like it's fully covered. Do not do as much covering on the bottom because you don't want it to stick. Place it in the bucket, and then what you're going to do after that is that you're going to stick your UV light into the bucket, and you're simply going to turn it on and let it cure for a few minutes. I let this cure for about 2.5–3 minutes, and it came out pretty good. So just turn it on and just go do something else for the next 2 to 3 minutes. Sorry for the UV light, guys. I apologize. I wasn't thinking when I shot this. So there you go, just like that. But the problem is that the surface of this thing is still a little bit tacky. So what I went ahead and did was give it a secondary cure in my cure machine. Give it about 2 minutes there, and that should pretty much do the trick for you. So there you go. Now, it still felt a little bit sticky, and you're probably going to get that tackiness, but the resin is cured. So I used this clear coat enamel, and I sprayed over it to give it that glossy, clear coat looking look that I wanted to kind of give it that glassy finish, and sprayed it, let it sit for a few minutes, and then I went ahead and I compared the two. So you can tell the one on the left is the one that hasn't been glossed, and obviously the one on the right is the one that is gloss, and you got that glass-like glossy finish that I've been looking for for the longest time, and it looks fantastic. I love how this looks, and this Pokemon is an ice type, so it literally looks like a cube of ice. Now you can do this with any print that has transparency to it. I wouldn't recommend using anything that has a solid color like gray, but something like the Charizard or the Totodile or anything that you're using transparent color with is perfect. A few things to keep in mind when you're doing this is that you don't want to over resin your prints. As you can see here, the Flareon had resin collect at the bottom, and when I cured it, it actually cured to the bucket and I had to yank it out. You don't want that. Same thing here with the Totodile, except I used my wash and cure station to cure it, and it actually got stuck to the curing disc and I had to pull it off, which resulted in me breaking the print. So a few things to keep in mind when you're doing this technique is that the resin will cure onto any surface, so you want to be a little bit conservative on where you put your resin so you don't get these issues. Otherwise, you might break the print or you might not even be able to get it out of the bucket. So just be careful with that. But here are all the prints that I did with this technique. You can see that they all look fantastic and glossy, gives it more of a glass-like finish. So that's pretty cool. And I have a whole bunch more here that I'm going to do with this same technique. And that's going to do it for this video. It was really quick, really simple, really quick tutorial. I might do more of these and I hope you guys took something from it. I want to see what you guys are posting, so go ahead and follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on my Facebook page. I also have a Heroic Studios fan page that you guys can go ahead and like, where I do most of my posting. And of course, last but not least, go and check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Will@Heroic Studios. Go get your hands on this awesome Billy Blue Ranger statue and get your hands on last month's Patreon gifts. Jason and Rocky. I'm doing a whole set, a whole original Mighty Morphin, including the White Ranger, is going to be this Patreon. So go ahead, jump on that, and let me know what you guys think. I want to see what you guys are doing. And until next time, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, comment with your questions, and I'll be sure to get back to you guys. Until then, take care of yourselves, and let's see what you guys can print. Adios.